Testing 1 2 sound check. Shalom Israel. So ISUPK started off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Officer Gazak Shapar teaching the Lashawan Qadash class here, representing ISUPK, South Carolina, under commanding General Yahanna. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. We're going to teach the Lashawan Qadash class here. I think we got a Lashawan Qadash here. We're teaching the ancient Hebrew and the Syrian Hebrew, of course. We're going to do a class saluting your brothers and sisters. We're going to go over some definitions here. So you'll know, first of all, who to salute and why to salute and what is a salute. And all of you shalawamers, y'all stay away. And I got to laugh about that because the word is shalom. So let's clap it up for class, man. Let's get ready here. Here in ISUPK, you read Hebrew from right to left. Always. Hebrew is always written from right to left. So I have something on the board. Of course, I have the salute on the board here. We've done this class before. We have some words here definitely going on. Who we have in class going on here? Let's see. How about we got Shara? Got a few people checking in. We're going to do an abbreviated class tonight. We're going to do that because we have to stand by for Commander General Yahanna. That's going to make sure that we give room to our commander and leader in the ISUPK. But before we get started, we're going to spend an hour, a little bit, to talk about the salute in the ISUPK, the things going on. We need to know, first of all, when you're doing a salute, Slakia, what is salute and who do you salute to? That makes sense? Yeah. A salute. When you have a salute, I mean, salute, you're saluting. It's like when you got in Psalms, I think 50, it says, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. Those are the people who you salute. Why? Because those are the people who the Most High classifies a saint. As simple as that. A saint. What is a saint? It's a repentant Israelite. You got to understand that everybody out here claiming to be an Israelite. Everybody claiming to be, oh, I'm a saint. You've seen people snake handlers, Catholic Church, people doing the Holy Roach Stomp dance. You had them brothers out there. Now it should be I'm sorry, the IUIC. Let's get that straight. The IUIC, the purple gang. They're not your understanding of what you want to say for the people of the Lord, because they are not repentant sinners. They still out there doing the roach toe dance. They have church every week, apparently, in their church. We don't do that in ISUPK here. So the definition of a real repentant Israelite and saint are those here in ISUPK, his saints, Hasayad, or you could just say Qadash, holy. If you're holy and you are a repentant Israelite here in ISUPK, you classify for a repentant saint. I know people were asking me not too long ago, who's a saint? People say, well, no, they say, well, that's the reason why you don't greet everybody and every people, because they're not saints. If they were, they'd be here in ISUPK. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are who we're teaching here. That's what the Bible is teaching. That's what is teaching and represent the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians as being the saints of the Most High, right? So we'll get into it here when we get when people start drinking their water, their mayam, or drinking their yayan, going back and relaxing, getting here. I know people are joining in class, but you gotta, we're just breaking down some definitions so you can understand, first of all, who's a saint. Because you always have these heathen groups and these heathen I'm pretty sure that some of these groups, and then you have some of these groups um, all around the world in these churches. What do you got? These heathenistic um, Israeli. They're not Israelites. They're Israelis. They claiming to be saints of the Lord. That's why I guess they wear them little beaver hats and all that. They're not saints, man. They're not even part of the 12 tribes of Israel. You got to be black, Hispanic, and Native Indian under the 12 tribes. You come from the seed of Isaac, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? To be classified, to be even understanding. It says it's like this. I'll turn to scriptures right here to tell you who the Most High is telling you who is a saint, who you so you'll know who to salute. So when you say Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Barak Atah, or you're saluting a whole lot of people that are in ISUPK, you want to say Barakatham. And then, of course, to the sisters, you want to say Yahweh Shema Aleph Than Bashem Yahweh Shai. We'll get into that in a second. But in Psalms, it says this: gather my saints. That's how you want to know. You got to gather your saints. And we go to Sabbath services, we always, or if you just walking to see your brother going over your house, how about Shemi How Shai Barak Atah? Right? We don't go around slapping hands and peace. And what else? I don't tell her what else people be doing. There's a scripture where say you don't go around striking hands, and the Bible gets at that and talk about it. You don't even want to strike hands with people. That we don't want to do no sideways shakes and all that. You greet them with the greets. When it says a holy kiss, it's really saying I don't go around and kissing no man. It's really telling you to say how about Shem how Shai Barak Atah, unless I'm greeting more than one person. If I'm greeting them, it'll be Hawa Bashem how Shai Barak Atham, of course, right? So it says, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And what does that mean? Anybody? Well, I'll tell you really what it means, right? Because people and anybody that raised their hand, everybody's still getting off work, stuff like that. That's fine. It basically says this: gather my saints, those that be on this earth. And in this case, to be in the ISUPK and the command of Yahanna. Gather my saints. That makes sense? Gather my saints together unto me, right? Gather my saints, those that have made a covenant. What covenant have they made? They made a covenant, right? By sacrifice, man. You sacrifice your life. You've gotten out of that world, out of that smoking that dope. You made a sacrifice. You put yourself out there on the corner and you teach this word. That's a sacrifice in itself right there, right? You sacrifice to the Lord saying that, I'm a repentant sinner and you've made a covenant with the Most High. That's what is qualifying there. The qualifying, of course, the sisters, with you upholding your brother, your husband, and because he's calling you out to help him. You made a covenant with me by sacrifice, the Most High said. You find that in Psalms 50 and 5. So when it says the ones that have, when you want to know what a saint is, a lot of people say, oh, man, and like because you got the Pope go around with his little Pope mobile, right? Thinking that he's a saint. He's not a saint. He's just a white robe wearing child molester is all he is. That's all he is. He's wearing got the millions of dollars that he stripped from our people, from us being in the cotton fields, from us picking sugar cane, and that's how they got ahead. They're not saints. You know what I'm saying? Or you can discuss, even if you want, if you go all through the Bible, it talks about the children of Israel being the saints, Moses, and even Aaron. That makes sense. Because even Aaron, it says in Psalms 106:16, we grab it, turn the pages, right? Psalm 106:16, it says, they envied Moses also in the camp, and Aaron, the saint of the Lord. Aaron was a saint of the Lord. They envied them. But this just gives me an idea of what saints are. That's all they want to know. And it's saints, a repentant Israelite man. The word hasayad or his, ha is his. And here's that word right here. Ha, and then it's sayad. That's, of course, that's in the ancient Hebrew. When he's what those are it, that word right there means faithful ones, or who's his faithful ones, the most high faithful ones. His faithful ones, a faithful, kind, goodly, holy one. Holy, which means Qadash or saint. That's why you can use the word, where is it at? That's why you can use the word Qadash. I was going to have you guys break this word down, but I'm telling them to you anyway. You know, Hasayad, right? That's saint. Or in this case, ha, we're going to use what we call a preposition. That would be the word ha, ha. And then you want to say sayad. Okay? And how do you know that? Because we have, again, this week we're going to break down and show you also. I try to teach a whole lot of different understandings at one time that break down words. We have, what do we call these upside down U's there? And these regular U's, what do we call them again?
Connectors.
They're connectors, exactly right. That is a connector. That is a singular connector, which is called a independent connector. Now that means that sound QA, that gets a sound by itself. That's why you can say qua and then da. You have da, which is da. You see it over here. You see a da. Salakia. Oh, did I make a mistake there? I did. Well, one caught me, so I can go ahead and do it. That is a Syrian da. So we're gonna do it like this. Da. Qadash. No one caught me, so qua da. And if you put them together, you put da and sha together, you have a word Qadash. That's why when we say Lashawan Qadash, that's the holy language where a saint is holy. So we use the word Qadash. Okay? And of course, over here we have ha sayad. We have ha here. Ya, do we use it correct? Because sometimes I'll mix them up here. Yeah. And we have sa, that is a sa. And here, there again, you have a connector, an independent, this ha, which means his. It's a prefix. Okay. Make sure I said that right. Yeah, his. Yeah, that's what it is. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's what it is. Hasaya. And then it's sa, ya, ha, sa, yad. Okay. So, and then you have an independent connector here. Ya, and then you have a dependent connector. Ya, ha, sa, ya, and a da. So if you put ya and a da together, yeah, because you know yad by itself means hand, but in this case we're saying hasayad, which is a saint. And so these two words are very similar because they have the same meaning. Okay. Over here you can have a language that can be holy, but in this case you got a man, a person that's holy. And over here you have the word shalom, which means peace. Okay, that means like salute. We salute you, peace, shalom, not shalawam. Some people see that word. They see the word broken down in there. That's why you have Lashawan Qadash class. It's not shalawam. It's shalwam. And the other people say, "Oh well, you know, it looked like shalawam." Well, who said that you're not supposed to use connector? You're using the ancient Assyrian, which will mess you up if you don't know what you're doing. So you got to use both of those together. Use the ancient Hebrew and the Assyrian Hebrew together. Both of them are good languages. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the language that the Most High gave it. But you just don't go and use one without understanding the other. Understand both. It's not Shalom, by the way. That's what IUIC out there jumping for roaches right now and stomping on them. I'm a Shalom, brother. It's not Shalom. It's Shalom. All that word would be Shalom. So we have Qadash, Hasayat, and Shalom. Okay, so we're gonna get into this real quick here, and we'll go back and go over those words real quick here. You have, when you're breaking down the Lashawan Qadash, you say Yahweh. Who is Yahweh? Yahweh is what we have. It means Lord or God, right? So we'll put up here. We'll put God, or he's basically the Lord of all, right? And then we have so when you use that word, we're going to say Yah, right? We're going to break it down. We're going to use ancient here, ancient Hebrew, right? So we're going to say Yah, like that. Okay. Okay. Yah. Then we're going to say Ha. Let's just break it down, right? Yah, Ha. And then we're going to say Wah. You got to look, all I'm doing is just breaking it down. Wah. So you use a Wah here. But you want WAH, right? So Wah. So you want to say, you got to go back over here to our Hebrew chart and look up the HA, which is Ha. Yahweh, right? Did I say that right? Yahweh. There we go. So it's Yahweh. Okay. It's not a lot of people, a lot of people go around calling him Yah, and what else they say about the Lord, man. They call him some of everything. But his name is Yahweh. That's what you want to say when you address Yahweh, okay? Or the Most High. Bahasham. What does Bahasham means? Sham. Let's break this down here. Sham itself. See if I got some words. But that's in the name. That's what that is. What do we mean by this? In the name. In the name. What do you mean in the name? Break this down for a second. In the name, right? Well, in the name means what it says. So you want to say ba. I'm gonna write this right to left. It appears that it's writing backwards. So we want to write a ba. A ba looks like this. Okay. Lock it. Ba. Just like that. Ba. And then you want to write a ha like this. Ha. Very basic, right? Ba ha. Then you want to say sha like this. That's a sha. Of course, you want a ma to go with it, so you have to join it together, and that makes the word sham. The root word on there is sham. Salaki. The root word is sham. That's what it is. The root word sham meaning name. So you can have many prefixes and suffixes on things. In this case, we don't need anymore. We just need ba in the. Just like we use ha down here for sayad, we use ba here and the to make sham come alive in the name of Bahasham. That makes sense? Now, Yahweh Shah. Who is Yahweh Shah? Anybody know? Yahweh Shah is Christ, right? And that's the black Christ now. I'm gonna make sure y'all. I'm gonna put it up here as the black Christ so y'all know, right? Because people they get to misunderstand that. So we're gonna say Yah. So how we write Yah? How we do that? Well, we say this right here. We say Yah, right? Just like that, right? Yah. And then we have Ha. Ooh, Ha. That looks like this little comb right here. Just like that. Yah, Ha, and then we want to write a wa. Well, how do we write a wa? If you're not sure, just look over here in your chart right here. It'll tell you wa. A wa looks like a little tuning fork, like that. Ya, ha, ya, ha, wa. And of course, we want to say shy, so we got to do a little W looking thing, then we got to make a like that. That's how you write Yahweh Shai. Who is Yahweh Shai? That's how you write Hamashiach. That's our Savior. He's a black Christ. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you find that in Revelation 1 and 13, 14. You know, John the Revelator, he was shown what Christ would be like, what he would look like. He would look like Yahweh. He would look like a black Christ, not this other kind of Caesar Borgia look that they have up there. You know that, you know what I'm saying? The one with the, anyway, y'all understand. It's Yahweh Shai. That's how you spell his name, Yahweh Shai, right? And of course, Barak, I got to erase a word here. Lock you, y'all. I got to erase Qadash up here to put this down. So I'm going to put it down right here. Barak. Right here. Barak. What does Barak mean? Anybody in the audience there? What does Barak mean? People checking in pretty late today, but that's all right. That's cool. Everybody's getting ready in their prospective cities to do what they need to do. So grab you some water, pop a beer, man. You know, get you a liter of wine and sit back and enjoy a Lashawan Qadash class here with Qadash in ISUPK, South Carolina, under command of Junior Yahanna. Barak. So all we're doing is just showing you the simple basic salute for the men. This will be for the men, by the way. Okay. We're gonna show you the woman salute in a second here. Because the men, this is how you, like we said before, I'll repeat again. Let's go back to that scripture again before we get, while y'all looking up the word Barak here. Okay, let's go. Let's find it. Let's see. What did I say? Oh, Psalms. It said, gather my saints, or my holy ones, Qadash, or my Hasayad. Gather them, okay, together unto me. Unto me. That's the most high. So everybody in the world can't be a saint because everybody not under Israel. The true children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, those that have made a repentant Israelite, are those that, there are some of us that ain't make that repentant. I mean, they're part of Israel, but they need to be a true saint. How you become a saint? I mean, I can't whitewash that. You got to get an ISUPK and put your brick in. That's really what it is. Right. So repentant sinner, Hasayad, right? A Qadash, a holy one, right? Gather my saints together unto me. Hasayad. Those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. So if you ain't made a covenant with the Lord by sacrifice, then what we talk about up in here? That means you got to go back and look it over again. If you're black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, get in here and learn this salute. Get in here, ISUPK. We're all black. Get in here and learn what Yahweh means, or how to say it. Get in here and learn the salute. Get in here and learn Bahasham, what that means. Get in here and learn Yahweh Shai, what it means. Get in here and learn Barak. Speaking of Barak, what does Barak mean? Anybody? It's the word is spelled Ba. Okay, that's the Ba right there. And then you got a Ra, you know. You get over here, you look on the board, you say Ra. So y'all come up with it. We're giving you a chance if so. We want to say a Ra looks like this. And then of course you have Ka. You have a Ka right here, which looks like this. Slack. like a backward C with a little stick hanging out of the middle. That's how I learned how. And of course, you got to put your ba, then rock. Okay, just like that. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. So you have ba. That's a B. Of course, I'm doing this in ancient Hebrew. Of course, right? I'm going too fast. No. Ba, and then we have you put right here rock. That is a dependent connector by itself. That ba says to itself, I'm going to make this sound ba by itself. And I don't need no help. Ba. And then rock. I remember one night I said this to a guy and he just, Eureka, just, it came alive, he said, and he just started understanding it. He understood that when I said ba, it's an independent connector, it means it don't need no other sounds to help it. Then he understood. So it depends sometimes how you say to somebody, is how they will hear it, how they will see it, you know. But in this case, ba by itself. And then you have rock. But now you're gonna have to use that dependent connector. These they depend on each other to make a sound, don't they? That's that R-A-K sound. Rock. Barak. What does Barak mean, y'all? Of course, I said that meant Christ, the black Christ. So Barak means what? It just means bless. That's all. Right? Mm-hmm. Y'all with me? Yep. Y'all take the time to do that. Y'all take the time to get that and write that down. So just giving y'all time right there. Right? Y'all got that? Okay. And of course, here's another text too you can use. Salute every saint in Christ. That means everyone that's in ISUPK, that's a repentant sinner, you salute them, right? Which you meet or greet you, right? So you want to say Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakathah, or Barakatham in this case, right? Okay. So Barak, and then what does Athah mean? Or let's spell the word out. Let's just spell it out. Athah. Is like this. And then we have tha, right? The laid down looking cross right there. We have and then we have that tha, and that this sound right here, that tha, we have to join it. Lock it with the ha sound, right? Right here, like that. Like that. Barakatha. Of course, that's when you're talking to one singer or one person by itself. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatha. Right? But if I want to talk to more than one, of course, in this case, it's saying you. That makes sense? But if I want to say y'all, all y'all, I want to say what? A thun, right? I want to say this. THAN. A thun. Or let me just spell it out because that looks weird. Thun. Like that, right? That makes sense? Okay. So a thun means what? Y'all? And the vernacular of like that right there, you all y'all. So I would say Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak. Damn, it's not done. It's thumb. See, messed up already. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, a thumb. The women would be thun. Okay, but of course we're gonna show you how to do the women sound all again. Before I tell you. Okay, so you say Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, a thought, or Barak, a thun. Okay, Barak, a thumb. I'm sorry. Coming off the way it rolls off my mouth here, right? Barak is the bless. And you hand at the chest like that, you know, Barak, a thumb, right? So y'all got the idea. That's the men's salute. Okay. So let's put it down and let's do the women's salute. Okay. Y'all got this? Everybody get this? Let's do a woman's salute here. Okay. And you get I'll erase everything but what's on the board right there. Those two words, like I said, those two words are salute and saint. Y'all got to know that, okay? Because that's who you do salute. You don't go around, if you're in Walmart somewhere, you don't go around saluting everybody. Hey, shalom, 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 shalom. Hey, you don't send everybody peace. Shalom means peace. You bringing a sword to some of them, or some family members. You bring a sword. Say, look, y'all going to church now. Y'all in the ISUPK. I mean, y'all not in the ISUPK. Y'all in the church. Y'all greeting the IUIC. Y'all stomping roaches over here. And they go to church every week. They would have to do that. That's no way to do an illustration, to go around and illustrate what you don't want to do. You don't do that, man. We just like General Muhammad say, would you do any vulgar thing just because somebody told you to do it? You know, you don't do that. So what the women's salute is, right? Right? So what do we want to do for a women's salute? Okay. We want to say, Yahweh. Let's do it this way. Yahweh. Okay. Shamar. This is a salute right here. We're going to do this because a lot of times people forget down through the line there. So we're going to say Yahweh Shamar. So what does Shamar mean? What does Yahweh mean? There again, Yahweh is God, right? Or the Lord, right? You know, what does Shamar means? To what? To watch. Clap it up for that sister right there. Damn right. Right. So we're going to say to watch, right? Basically, when you own Shamar, you're on guard to watch. So why is the sister saying that? We're going to see here in a little bit. Shamar, right? So let's pick up the word again. Yahweh. Yah, right? Like that. Spell it like that. Yah. We got to say ha, right? Yah, and then we're going to say wa. Do I need to do this in a Syrian? Are we good? Are y'all with me? Okay, we'll keep it like this then. Yah, ha, wa. But we need another ha there, right? So we got Yah, ha, then we got wa, but we need a sound here. And that's ha, wa, with a ha on the end there, right? That goes like this then. So that, Yah, ha. What are these again? What are these called in Hebrew? And when you're using the ancient Hebrew, we call these connectors. Those connectors tell you how to emphasize the sounds of a word. That's about as simple as I can make it. How to emphasize a sound of a word. They're called connectors. That is a independent connector. That's an independent connector. Now, when you get to this U here, they join these two sounds together, the wa and the ha, and makes wa. So you say ya, ha, wa, which in Hebrew means God. Okay. Shamar. How about that word? Shah. Shah. Okay. That's that much of it. Ma. It looks like that. And then you have what? A ra. You don't put the ah sound over there because that would be shamara. That'd be a whole nother word. So we have sha, independent connected, and then you want to join two together like that. Sha, sha. Then you want to say ma, ra, sha, mar, which means to watch. Okay, who we have in class right there? Kawabaf? I think. Kawabaf? Who?
Kayalba.
Oh yeah, I see it right there. Oh, it's Kawabaf.
Mm-hmm.
Clap it up for the sister right there. How Shema Alathan Ba Shem How Shah. She's right on time. We're doing the Hebrew for the women's salute. And that's what this class is about right now. We're doing both greetings for saluting, right? This is for, we did the men, now we're doing the women, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's the women right there. Damn. I wrote that wrong. There we go. We're doing the women's salute. So we say Yahweh, Shamar, what else? I'll. What in the world does owl mean? Anybody know? Put it down. Anybody online? Yahweh means virtue's daughter. Yahweh, what does that mean? I'll. Work on that. Give me the meaning of that. See anybody know? Anybody online? We'll make the people, or we'll ask the people. Ain't gonna make them. We'll ask the people online, give them a chance. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll give people a chance too, because they, this class is gonna be, yeah, we ain't got much time left. 7:40 is short because we got to get ready for the ISUPK under Commander General Yahanna, right? Okay. Yahweh, Shamar, I'll. What does that word mean? And because it's spelled like this, we're going to spell it here. It's spelled like this. That's an I right there. And of course, like that. So you join that sound together because you wanted I'll to be joined together. I'll, which means, anybody know? Anybody said it? Because you're telling the brothers, as a woman, you're telling the brothers to do something. God, watch what? Watch what? Watch over. You're telling them to watch over. That's what you're telling them. Like this. Watch over the men. Watch over them. Because when we stand out in the street corners and we call Esau the devil, we put our life on the line every time, right? That makes sense? That's why we're going through this, so you'll know who to salute and why. That's the whole point, right? That's what you want to do. That's what we're realizing here. Okay? Okay? Just like when we talked about it, when we says gather my saints, like, oh, somebody's got it up there. What they got? What she got?
Okay, y'all about says La.
Oh, I got you. Well, first of all, I wrote it wrong. I'm sorry. It's I right here, then law. She had it. That would be. I spelt it backwards. In other words, I apologize. It's Hebrew is written from right to left. So here's right to left right here, starting with the right side over here and over there, and that would be IO. That's how you spell it. It looks just like that. IO. IO means over. So we're saying Yahweh Shamar IO, or watch over. Okay? IO. Okay? Because the Lord, the Most High said, gather my saints together unto me. We're the saints, the sisters, y'all saints. The brothers, y'all saints too. So the sisters, you're saints too. The brothers are the saints. And the sisters are the saints also. So both of you are saints. And you're saying, and the sisters are saying to the brother saints, watch over you. Right? So we're saying what? Let's read this again. Yahweh Shamar al what? Atha. So that's the word we want to use. Atha. What did we say Atha was? No? Or in this case, you could say Athun. This is when you want to use Athun. There we go. Slack. Because Atha means you. Okay? Like that. And Athun means what? Y'all. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
It means y'all. In other words, we got that right? Yahweh Shema, Alathan, right? Vashem in the name. You always got to do it in the name, right? So let's make sure, let's get that right first. Boy, I tell you. Okay, so we got Yahweh Shemar, Isle, Atha, Bahashem, right? Bahasham. Sham. Sham means what again? Means name, right? Means Can everybody hear me? We had a little difficulty right there. Put a one in the chat if you can see and hear. I'm sure you can see it. But if you can hear in the chat, please put a one in the chat. We had a little um, technical difficulty there online there. Slocky about that. But if you can hear me, put a one in the chat. Okay. We were doing the Hebrew salute going over. We went over the class pretty much before. Just want to make sure everybody can hear and see. I see Kayal. Who's that? Hawaba. What about you, Kayal or you and other people? See if you can put a one in the chat and make sure you caught up. To make sure you guys are, because we had a technical glitch there.
She got you.
Okay, cool. All right, all right. So we'll finish this real quick here. Ba in the. Sorry about that. We have glitches like that every once in a while. So Bahasham. So far we have God watch over you. This is what the sisters are saying. God watch over you. Talking to the men, talking to the men. So you say Yahweh Shema Alatha. How Shema Isle. Is that right? Oh, I got that written wrong. Okay. Whew. Isle is spelled like that. But the word you're looking for is this right here. You're looking for this. That's what you want to look for. Over. It's spelled like this in Hebrew. I-L. They kind of look alike, but the word in English is I-L. But you want to say in the name. So you want to say Bahasham. And Ba, of course, we're going to spell it. Ba. Salakia. Ba, ha. Okay. And then you want to say Sha. Of course, you want to see if we got that right. Baha. Baha. And then you want to say Sham. Yeah. Okay, good. We got that. Sham. Like this. Okay. Slocky about that. So Baha Sham. That means in the name of. The root word is Sham. Okay. In the name of what? So say Yahweh Shema Alatan Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Ba'Shem, then you want to say Yahweh Shai. So we got to spell that out, right? We'll erase that right there. Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. In the name, you got to write Christ out. So Yah Ha Wa Shai. Like that. Okay. So you want to say Yah. And you want to take your time and write it right. So you want to say Yah. Okay. You want to say Ha. Look like a little comb, backwards comb there, right? And then you want to say Wa. You want to use the Wa, looking like a tuning fork, like that, of course. But we're writing down, and then you want to say Shai. That's a Sha, and then you want to like that. So you want to say Yah. Ha, Wa, you want to say Shai. Connect this. Now, who is Yahweh Shai? You always want to understand that that is Christ. That is not Caesar Boshir. That's why I'm writing down that's the black and only Christ, the nigger God. That's what I say. I say, if y'all have a problem with that, we can turn to where the word was said, Niger or nigger. Simple as that. But that's what Christ is, and that's in the Renaissance period. They tried to use Caesar Borgia, the homosexual lover of Leonardo da Vinci, to take the place of the real black Christ. That makes sense? So the women would say this. So the men would say, first of all, the men say Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Baraka Thumb. And then the women would say Yahweh Shamar Io Atha or Thun. Y'all. depending on how many, right? Uh, Bashim Havashai, right? Okay. So that's what you want to understand. That's what you got to realize when you want to salute. Okay. That's what the women are doing. Yahushamar al Athan Bashim Yahushai. Okay. Yahushamar al Athan Bashim Yahushai. The Lord watch over y'all or you in the name of the Black Christ. I emphasize that because people really mess that up. Okay. When they think Christ is Esau, or no, he's not. He's not. He's black. That's what you got to understand, right? And so there you have the brothers in the blood. You have the Slakia. You have the brother salute and you have the sister salute, right? Or the women salute, right? And of course, those are the things we want to go over too much more because we don't have much time in class. But that's what it is, and it says uh, to go back there. Let's see. I'll go over these texts again. I think it was to real before we get out of here. What is a saint? What is a saint? And turn to Psalms 50 and 5, and we'll do it again. Let's read this before we go. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. That's what a saint is. If you're an ISUPK and you're under command of Junior Yahanna and you are a repentant sinner, because only a repentant Israelite can be a real true saint, a Hasayad, right? His saints, right? Or Sayad, right? Or holy. That's what a saint is, an unholy person. Just Qadash, that word. Okay? So let's clap it up for class, right? Clap it up for class, and we'll clap it up for class, and we'll get some we'll read some things here pertaining to our Hebrew announcements, right? And we'll go from there. I'm glad you guys can have class. If you have any questions, make sure you understand. Then again, we has Yahweh Shai Baraka, thumb to all my brothers. Yahweh Shema al Thun Bashem Yahweh Shai to my sisters. But y'all clap it up for class and make sure. We're gonna give some out. I appreciate that. Okay. We're preempting class a little tonight because we have to get ready for Commander General Yahanna, right? Tune in. Make sure you pay your tithes, okay? Your tithes. Get with your captain and make sure you can understand how to pay them. But pay your tithes, okay? In the ISUPK. All right. Under Commander General Yahanna, okay? The ISUPK. We are the ISUPK. Start off 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. Okay, there's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. All right, tithes is commandments numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 and 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah, 10% of every penny of increase which the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teaching and priest fund, free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. The holy convocations, or as let's see, Slaki. The holy convocations. The next one is going to be okay. There we go. It's going to be in I believe September. The memorial blowing of trumpets. Yeah, memorial blowing of trumpets. The first day of the 7th month. Sunday, the 21st September 2025, Leviticus 23, 24, and 25. Make sure you guys govern yourself and get yourself ready accordingly for that. All right. And of course, um, stand by for Command General Yahanna, I believe, in Chicago, shortly to come here. Um, let's see. Announcements. Let's see. It's a remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board. Okay, if anyone wants to be a trooper in in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, and headbands and scarf. Okay, and we'll stand up. Okay, all right, and we're gonna do that salute we were just learned today, right? Amadim Shabbat, Madim, Barak, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Atham. They're my brothers. Sar, turn and face the sisters. Amadim Shabbat, Madim, Barak, Yahweh Shema Alathan, Bashem, Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shema Don Shem Yahushua.
Yamata, class dismissed.